Alright, girls, let's talk about menstruation. Okay? Menstruating is a natural part of 50% of the population. It's normal. It's normal. So it's basically, hold up, let me go get my drawing. Okay. So basically, it is when the endometrium, aka the uterine lining, sheds and it forms blood. It goes to your vagina opening and it comes out. These are the ovaries. It carries the eggs that you release every month. You only release one egg a month. 1 month it's going to be this side. The other month's going to be this side, or you start at this side and then it goes to this side the next month. These are the fallopian tubes where the egg is carried to the uterus and waiting to be fertilized. But if it is not fertilized, it does cause your uterine lining to shed and come out of the vagina. Now, tampons, there is some pros and cons of them. Tampons you can wear during sports and go swimming. Pads you cannot go swimming in because it will not absorb your blood, but you typically do not bleed once you're in water. But I would recommend if when you're on your period, you wear a period bathing suit with like a tampon with whatever your flow is, because some girls, yes, very, very heavy. Me, I am one of those girls. But I have never been swimming on my period because I typically avoid it because, like, I don't know if, like, I'm going to bleed through the tampon or anything. So, yeah, I typically avoid it. But for the girls that do, like, swimming, track meets, or, like, anything like that, I would recommend using tampon. Now, the cons of it can give you a toxic shock syndrome where it makes like your body go through shocks and it can lead to death if it gets too bad. So I see why most girls are scared to use tampons because of that reason. But the way to prevent that everyone doesn't want to do is change it regularly and daily. Change it like every 1 to 3 hours, maybe like if you're not bleeding that much that day, like maybe 1 to 4 hours in between that time range. If you do tend to bleed through, I would recommend sizing up. For example, one day if your period is a little bit heavier, let's say you bled through a regular, then size up to a super. If you do not bleed as much, then size down to a regular. Or if you have to wear a super and it's heavier that day, size up to a super plus. Or if you don't bleed through that and it's barely any blood, size back down. If you're very heavy and like me, very heavy, wearing an Ultra, me personally, when I wear an Ultra, if it is one of my heavier days, I do also have a pad on, just in case. So, always keep a teen emergency kit with you. I do make teen emergency kits. I make new teen emergency kits every single week. I will leave my email in case you want one in the comments. I will. They typically are very cute, very colorful. If you're not into the colorful type, we do have some darker ones. When it comes to companies, I do make stuff for free. The bags are only $5. Sometimes I will do a 50% off sale, and it will drop down to $2.50. Very cheap, very affordable. If you want to customize them, I will charge you a little extra, but I only will charge you a little extra by $1. So say if you want, so they typically come with about 2 to 3 tampons, 2 to 3 pads, 2 to 3 panty liners, and sometimes maybe some tissues or a small little thing of wet wipes. Here, hold on. Let me show you the wet wipes. So I do give out 3 different types of wet wipes. Some scented, some unscented. If you want scented, just ask. If you want unscented, then just ask. But I do make cute little period kits. I do have some coming in the mail today. I currently have about 4 with me right now that I made this morning. This is them. They're already packed and ready to go. But I do give those out. So yes, I do make teen emergency kits. I am typically a nice person when it comes to periods because in my opinion, girls do help girls and girls do help support girls. So like say if I really don't like someone, but like they just got their period and they don't know what to do, and they don't know why they're menstruating, and they might think they're dying, because yes, that is very common to think that you are dying if you were not taught about it, if you were not taught about menstruation. So there is that. But if you guys want another video of me just talking about this, then just leave a like or a comment and I'll make another one. But it was nice talking to y'all today. I hope y'all got some information today. And I will see you next time. Bye.